There's been so much movie and series news in the past few weeks that it's easy to lose track. But don't worry, this mega edition of KinoCheck News brings you the ultimate monthly roundup. From Deadpool's Avengers ambitions to the highly anticipated sequel to K-pop Demon Hunters, there's plenty to look forward to. So sit back and relax. Here are the most important movie and series updates from August. As part of the second season of Peacemaker, James Gunn officially announced that the so-called Superman saga will play a central role in the new DCU. In a conversation with The Hollywood Reporter, the DC boss revealed that the work on the next story with David Corenswet has already been completed. However, this is apparently not just Superman 2. The matter is a bit more complicated, but he couldn't reveal details yet. According to an interview with the Happy Sad Confused podcast, it's definitely not a joint film with Batman. The only thing certain is, the project will be James Gunn's next film, and production is set to begin very soon. What do you think is behind this strange announcement? Perhaps a joint film with Supergirl? Or with the new Wonder Woman? We're definitely excited to see what James Gunn will deliver next. Ryan Reynolds is currently sparking speculation online with an Instagram post. The Deadpool actor shared an image of the Avengers logo, but it's painted over with a large A in Deadpool's signature red. Marvel fans are now debating what the post could mean. Reynolds shared the image without any caption, leaving plenty of room for speculation. Could the actor be hinting at a Deadpool appearance in Avengers Doomsday? It would make sense, especially since filming for the fifth Avengers movie is currently underway. Approximately 30 cast members have been cast so far, including numerous X-Men actors. However, it has been clear for some time that this won't be the final lineup. Rumor has it that just as many additional actors could be announced for Doomsday in the near future. After all, several MCU stars such as Mark Ruffalo and Benedict Cumberbatch are still missing from the lineup. So it's certainly not out of the question that Ryan Reynolds might join the cast as well. That said, the logo also appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine. There, a different version could be seen at Cassandra Nova's base, so the post doesn't necessarily have to be related to the upcoming Avengers film. But of course, that hasn't stopped fans from speculating. After Final Destination Bloodlines proved to be a resounding success with worldwide box office takings of over $285 million, and also managed to satisfy fans, the seventh film in the horror franchise is now in development. According to The Hollywood Reporter magazine, writer Laurie Evans Taylor, who was already heavily involved in the sixth installment, will be responsible for the screenplay. Whether the directing duo Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein will also be directing the new film is not known yet. The Final Destination franchise has grossed over $983 million worldwide. This makes it New Line Cinema's third largest horror franchise, beaten only by the Conjuring universe with $2.3 billion. And the It films with $1.2 billion. Amazon is working on a series adaptation of the legendary video game franchise Wolfenstein. As Variety exclusively reports, the new TV production is being developed in collaboration with Kilter Films, the creators of the Fallout series. Jerk Gustafsson from the development studio Machine Games is also on board as executive producer. He's been responsible for the modern Wolfenstein game series for years. Now, while specific plot details are still being kept under wraps, the official logline is already drawing attention. Quote, "The story of killing Nazis is evergreen." This suggests that, like the most recent games, the series adaptation might not necessarily be set during the traditional World War II era. The Wolfenstein series has a long history. The first game was released back in 1981. With the groundbreaking Wolfenstein 3D in 1992, the franchise became a milestone in the first-person shooter genre. There's been 14 games in the series in total, and a film project was announced as early as 2012, but it was never realized. It's emerged as the breakout hit of the summer, K-pop Demon Hunters. Within just 6 weeks of its release, the Netflix production has become the most successful animated film in the streaming platform's history. Now, entertainment outlet The Wrap reports that Netflix is exploring several new projects set in the K-pop Demon Hunters universe. According to the report, 2 sequels are currently under discussion, which would form a full film trilogy. A live-action adaptation is also being considered. And as if it weren't enough, The Wrap's sources claim that Netflix is also contemplating the possibility of a stage musical, a short film, and a TV series. Now, these are quite ambitious plans, but given the movie's success, Netflix appears to see great potential for a franchise. After all, not only is the movie itself incredibly popular, but the songs are currently going viral as well. Several tracks have made it into the charts over the past few weeks. The movie features an unusual concept. It centers on K-pop superstars Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. However, the three lead double lives as demon hunters. They must face off against a boy band whose members are demons. We can't wait to see what adventures await Rumi, Mira, and Zoe next. Of course, it remains to be seen whether all of the mentioned projects will actually be realized. Have you seen the movie? What are your thoughts of it? We look forward to reading your comments. News from Middle-earth. Ian McKellen spoke at a fan event in London about the upcoming live-action film The Hunt for Gollum. He specifically addressed two characters. Quote, "I'll reveal two secrets about the cast. There's a character in the film named Frodo and a character named Gandalf. Other than that, my lips are sealed." Elijah Wood, along with other Lord of the Rings actors such as Sean Astin and Dominic Monaghan, were also present at the event. Although McKellen did not explicitly speak about the casting of the characters, it's been certain for a long time that he will once again appear as Gandalf. The announcement of Frodo's appearance, however, is new, and it's more likely that Elijah Wood will be cast again. He could hardly suppress a grin during the announcement. Frodo's appearance will raise some questions. Will they try to digitally de-age the now roughly 25 years older Elijah Wood? Or will we perhaps see scenes from a later part of the saga, in which Frodo looks back on the events? McKellen also revealed that the filming will start in May 2026. It's already known that the story takes place at the same time as the Fellowship of the Ring. Gollum, who will once again be played by Andy Serkis, is the center of the plot. Serkis will also be directing the movie. With Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh, the two screenwriters who have also contributed to the previous Middle-earth films, are on board. It's also known when the new Lord of the Rings film will be released. However, fans will have to wait a little longer. The Hunt for Gollum will hit theaters on December 16th, 2027. There's been a promising new update on Amazon's God of War series. At San Diego Comic-Con, showrunner Ronald D. Moore talked about his series adaptation. He gave an insight into the current state of production and spoke about the number of episodes and the start of filming. At the moment, the writing team is still working on the scripts. Moore made it clear that he doesn't want to adapt the games frame by frame. For him, the adaptation into a live-action format is also a kind of interpretation. At the same time, however, they will not stray too far from the original material. In an interview with IGN, he stated that the show and the games will be very similar in tone. The focus will be on the main character Kratos and his son Atreus. So, the series adaptation is therefore based on the popular 2018 God of War game. The first season will consist of 10 episodes. But it's already clear that it won't stop there. Amazon has already ordered a second season. How many seasons the series will have in total is not known yet. However, filming for the first episodes will not take place this year. When asked about possibly starting in 2026, Moore simply said, "We shall see." So it looks like God of War fans will have to be patient, as the series is still a long way off. Feel free to tell us who you would like to see in the lead role. Who do you think could best portray the seasoned version of the brutal Kratos? Filming for Spider-Man 4 has been underway since early August, with plenty of set photos and videos making the rounds, and the rumor mill is buzzing. According to well-known insider Daniel Rickman, Florence Pugh is rumored to be joining the cast as Yelena Belova after impressing audiences in Thunderbolts. Whether this will be a major role or just a brief cameo remains unclear. One possible scenario could be a post-credit scene where she tries to recruit Spider-Man for the new Avengers lineup. There's also a lot of attention on the fresh casting of Tremel Tillman, best known from the award-winning sci-fi series Severance. Insiders like Nexus Point News suggest that Tillman might be playing Jefferson Davis, the father of Miles Morales. That would be a smart move to set up the arrival of a live-action Miles in the MCU. According to the Cosmic Circus, Spidey's next adventure will open with an action-packed montage featuring several villains, including Tarantula, Boomerang and Ramrod. The sequence is set to showcase how Peter has fought countless battles since No Way Home while continuously upgrading his suit. And despite all the speculation, Mr. Negative reportedly won't be appearing in Brand New Day. In a recent Q&A, insider Alex Perez was asked which main villains are being planned for Tom Holland's new Spider-Man trilogy. Among the names he's heard are Kingpin, Tombstone, Hammerhead, Prowler, and Venom. One particularly interesting detail involves Mac Gargan, better known as Scorpion, who was first introduced in Homecoming. His appearance in Brand New Day has already been confirmed. Some insiders believe he might lose to Peter Parker in this movie and later return as the MCU's version of Venom in Spider-Man 5 or even Part 6, Seeking Revenge. The symbiote needed for this transformation could make its way to Earth following the events of Avengers Secret Wars. Brand New Day is set to hit theaters on July 30th, 2026. On that day, we'll finally learn which of these countless rumors turn out to be true. The end of the world isn't over yet. Following the surprise success of the disaster film Greenland, Gerard Butler is set to return in the upcoming sequel. The release date for Greenland 2 Migration has now finally been announced. Greenland centers on the Garrity family. The first part is about a major meteor shower threatening Earth. The father, played by Butler, tries to find a safe place together with his wife Allison and their son Nathan. After the events of the first movie, the Garrity family leaves Greenland and embarks on a journey across the decimated wasteland of Europe to find a new home. In addition to Butler, Deadpool star Morena Baccarin is also returning. The cast further includes Amber Rose Riva, known from the Marvel series The Punisher, and the film is once again directed by Rick Roman-Waugh, who previously worked with Butler on the action movies Angel Has Fallen and Kandahar. The sequel will be released in theaters on January 9th, 2026. News of a sequel to Dwayne Johnson's Jungle Cruise film first surfaced over 4 years ago. Since then, however, things have been fairly quiet around the production. Now, Hollywood insider Daniel Rickman has provided an update. According to him, the movie is still in development at Disney, and a screenwriter has also been found. The writer is said to be Matthew Robinson, which would bring a fresh perspective to the sequel. The original film was penned by different writers. In the first Jungle Cruise, a researcher and a captain embark on a dangerous journey through the Amazon jungle. The movie was inspired by the theme park attraction of the same name. Now, few details about the sequel have been confirmed so far. However, Dwayne Johnson confirmed some time ago that he's interested in shooting a sequel. It's quite possible that co-star Emily Blunt might return as well. After all, Johnson and Blunt seem to get along well. They are set to appear together in 2 upcoming films. In October, the MMA drama The Smashing Machine will be released. Additionally, they'll both star in a new Martin Scorsese film. As for when Jungle Cruise 2 will be released, that remains unknown, but we will keep you up to date as always. Good news for all A Quiet Place fans. The release date and director for Part 3 have now been officially confirmed. The next movie in the popular horror franchise is set to hit theaters on July 9th, 2027. The announcement was made by John Krasinski via Instagram, who will once again write, direct, and produce A Quiet Place Part 3, just as he did with the second movie. It's still unclear whether any characters from Part 2 will return, or if the story from A Quiet Place Day 1 will have any significance. So the suspense continues. The Highlander reboot by Chad Stahelski is making further progress. According to industry magazine The Hollywood Reporter, Dave Bautista will play the role of the villain. The former wrestling star and celebrated actor is set to portray the immortal barbarian the Kurgan in the new film, a role previously played by Clancy Brown. In the original movie, the character was a brutal and terrifying warrior who hunted other immortals over the centuries to absorb their power. Bautista, who demonstrated his versatility in Guardians of the Galaxy, Dune, and Blade Runner 2049, brings not only physical presence, but also acting depth. According to industry reports, Bautista is also in talks for a leading role in Amazon sequel Roadhouse 2, in addition to this project. The new adaptation will be directed by Chad Stahelski, who has made a name for himself as the director of the John Wick film series. Henry Cavill will take on the lead role of Connor McLeod, while Russell Crowe is set to play the mentor figure Ramirez, a part originally played by Sean Connery. Filming is scheduled to begin in late September 2025 and will take place in the UK and Hong Kong, a clear indication that the reboot will also shift between different worlds and eras. The huge success of Wicked is bringing the Wizard of Oz franchise back into the spotlight. Now the universe is set to be expanded for Amazon with the series Dorothy. As Deadline reports, the show will be a contemporary music-infused retelling of the Wizard of Oz. The series will primarily target a younger audience. At the heart of the story is the legendary Yellow Brick Road, which in this version serves as a metaphor for the challenges young people face. Among the producers is singer Gwen Stefani, and the screenplay is written by Gina Matthews, known for the film 13 Going on 30. It's not yet known exactly when Dorothy will be available on Prime Video. 12 years ago, the zombie horror film World War Z was released in cinemas. Again and again, there were rumors of a possible sequel, but it was never realized. That's now set to change, as Paramount Skydance revealed at a press event. World War Z 2, along with Top Gun 3 and other projects, has high priority. However, they didn't go into further detail. We assume the zombie sequel is still in its early stage of development. Other projects mainly include Star Trek. The last feature film was Star Trek Beyond in 2016. Since then, the franchise has only been active as a series. Currently, Strange New Worlds is running, and Star Trek Starfleet Academy is coming soon. Up to now, the series have been independent of the films, but that'll probably change in the future. Behind the scenes, there are more joint plans for how films and series will continue. Specific film projects have not yet been officially announced, but upcoming Star Trek films will most likely be released in cinemas and not directly on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus boss Cindy Holland stated that streaming movies are not a priority. A special focus at Paramount, however, is on Top Gun 3. This was emphasized again at the event. CEO David Ellison said he would produce movies with Tom Cruise for as long as the superstar wanted. Screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie recently revealed that the story for the sequel is already set. Scary Movie is making a comeback, and two absolute veterans are back on board. According to a report from industry magazine Deadline, Regina Hall and Anna Faris will once again be reprising their roles as Brenda and Cindy. For the new film, the Wayans brothers are working together for the first time in almost 2 decades. Together with their longtime creative partner Rick Alvarez, they're writing the new script, and the film will be directed by Michael Tides, another longtime collaborator of the Wayans. Filming is set to begin in October, and the theatrical release of Scary Movie 6 is scheduled for June 11, 2026. Considering the current cinema landscape, the timing for the comeback couldn't be better. Horror movies have been dominating the box office for months, while good comedies have been lacking. The solid success of The Naked Gun, however, has shown that audiences are indeed eager for carefree entertainment. Let's hope Scary Movie can live up to its old qualities. News from the LEGO universe. According to Deadline, a new film titled Inner Child is currently in development. It'll be directed by James Morosini, who is also writing the screenplay. Morosini has primarily worked as an actor so far. Inner Child was originally intended to be a standalone live-action film with an original concept, completely unrelated to the LEGO universe. However, after Universal and the LEGO Group acquired the screenplay, it was decided to tell the story in animated form. For now, details of the plot remain under wraps. Since its founding in 1932, the LEGO Group has grown from a Danish toy production company into a global multimedia powerhouse. Its breakthrough in film came in 2014 with the LEGO Movie, which became a worldwide phenomenon under the direction of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. The franchise was further expanded with spin-offs like the LEGO Batman movie, the LEGO Ninjago movie, and the direct sequel, the LEGO Movie 2. It's not yet known when the new LEGO adventure will hit theaters. A man and his car fight against injustice, and soon, they'll hit the big screen. The Hollywood Reporter has learned that a Knight Rider movie is in the works. The movie adaptation is being developed for Universal by the Cobra Kai creators John Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg, and Josh Heald. Apparently, they've been working on a Knight Rider movie for quite some time. Now, it's still unclear whether the film will be a full reboot or a continuation of sorts. So far, there's been no mention of any involvement by David Hasselhoff. In the original 1980s series, Hasselhoff played the protagonist Michael Knight. The story centers around the high-tech sports car KITT, a talking, self-driving car with artificial intelligence. The success of Knight Rider quickly turned the show into a cult classic and made Hasselhoff famous worldwide. Jason Voorhees is getting ready for a bloody comeback, and in two ways at that. At this year's Comic-Con, Robbie Barsimian, Vice President of Horror Inc., had the pleasure of announcing a new Friday the 13th movie. The title, Sweet Revenge, and a new video game is also in the works. There's been no information yet about the cast or crew, let alone a concrete release date. But this will be the first time in 16 years that the masked killer from Camp Crystal Lake appears in another feature film. The new movie will not be a reboot, but rather a regular new entry in the franchise canon. At the same time, the prequel series Crystal Lake is in development at A24. The series will explore the backstory surrounding the infamous summer camp setting, and will likely shed more light on Jason's origins. Unfortunately, no release date has been set for this either. What was your highlight in August? And what topics would you like us to cover in future videos? Drop your suggestions in the comments. We're looking forward to your ideas. Your KinoCheck team.